Hello and welcome to Replacement Player Baseball. Today, the Cubs are trying to end a 2-game losing streak as they face the Brewers in a 3-game series, which is going to wrap up this homestand. For Game 1 of this series against the Brewers, the Cubs will be sending righty Lance McCullers out to the mound. McCullers comes in making start number 5. He has a 3-0 record with a 2.08 ERA and a 1.42 whip. And there is going to be one change to the Cubs lineup today, as Malik Smith is going to go ahead and play left field for the Cubs. So we're going to have a lineup today of Horner, Correa, Rizzo, Springer, Amaya, Tauschman, Malik Smith batting 7th, the pitcher McCullers batting 8th, and Paradas batting 9th. The Brewers are going to send Brian Abreu out to the mound. He is making start number 3. With an 0-2 record, he has a 1.50 ERA and a 1.17 whip. And apparently he walks just as many men as he strikes out every 9 innings. The Brewers lineup will consist of Kane, Urias, Yelich, Encarnacion, Navarez, Garcia, Gamble, Marrero, and the pitcher Abreu batting 9th. It is 58 degrees. It's warmed up a little here in Chicago today. And the wind blowing in off the lake at 10 mph. It is time to get this game underway. As the Cubs head out to take the field, McCullers is on the mound to make his warm-up pitches. We see the Brewers sending Lorenzo Cain up to lead off in this ball game. The Cubs are coming in first place in the NL Central with a 12-6 record, opposing the Brewers, who have an 8-10 record and are in 4th place in the Central. The Cubs have won 4 out of 6 from the Brewers so far this season. McCullers coming out to the mound now, working with a full count to Lorenzo Cain. McCullers towing the rubber, looking for the sign, and here's the pitch. Inside for ball 4, so Cain draws the leadoff walk. He's heading down to first, and that will bring up Urias. With nobody out and the runner on first, McCullers facing Urias. Cain, always a threat to steal over at first. We're going to watch him carefully. Start out with a pickoff move, and he slides back safely. Now the pitch, and that is going to be a cutter for strike 1, which means that now we are going to do a pitch out and see if Cain is going to run. The pitch out, and Cain stays put. So that will be followed up with a throw over to first where he is safe getting back again. And now the pitch, and that is inside for ball 2. We're going to switch this over. Apparently Cain isn't going anywhere. And there's strike 3 called. Urias strikes out looking at a full count sinker, and that's the first out of the inning. McCullers now with a throw over to first, paying attention to Cain again, making sure that the Cain is not running. And now the pitch to Christian Yelich. Here's a 2-1 count, and the throw goes down to first, and Amaya picks off Cain over at first. Nice defensive awareness right there on the backdoor throw behind the lefty Yelich. So now there's 2 outs and nobody on base. Yelich is facing a 3-1 count. Here's the pitch from McCullers, and that is low for ball 4. So the walk is issued, and now Encarnacion is the batter with 2 outs and 1 man on. 1-1 is the count, and Encarnacion pops it up to center field. Springer is coming in a few steps. He adjusts and makes the play to end the inning. So the Brewers stranding a runner. We go to the bottom of the first of a 0-0 ball game. Nico Horner is going to lead off for the Cubs in the bottom of the first inning. Here comes the first pitch to Nico Horner. Abreu looking to deliver. And here it comes. There's a grounder over to first. The first baseman has it. He flips to the pitcher covering, and that is out number 1. Next up, Carlos Correa. 1 out, nobody on. Correa waiting for the full count pitch. Grounder right up the middle. That's going to be a clean single into center field. Carlos Correa stops at first. He has a base hit. And now the next batter up is Anthony Rizzo. 1 out, 1 man on. Rizzo facing Abreu, waiting for the 1-strike pitch. And a grounder up the middle. This time the shortstop has it, stepping on second and relaying to first. That'll be a 6-3 double play, which will end the inning. The shift worked to the Brewers' benefit right there. The shortstop was exactly where he needed to be to make that play. We go now to the top of the second inning of a 0-0 contest. McCullers facing Navarez in the top of the second. 2-strike count. And McCullers delivers strike 3, looking on another sinker. That is strikeout number 2 of the game for Lance McCullers. And now Arcia's the batter. 1 out, nobody on. First pitch from McCullers to Arcia. Here it comes. And a grounder, or a liner, right back at the mound. McCullers spears it, pulls it out of the air for the second out of the inning. Ben Gamble now the batter. 2 outs and nobody on. Here's a 2-2 count. And Gamble drives that one into the gap in right center field. That is going all the way to the wall. Extra bases as Gamble rounds first, heading for second. He's going to have a stand-up double with 2 outs in the second inning. That is the Brewers' first base hit of this ball game. And now the go-ahead runs in scoring position as Devin Marrero steps up to the plate with 2 outs and 1 man on. McCullers working with a 2-2 count. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. McCullers strikes out Marrero to end the inning. That's number 3 for McCullers in the game. We go to the bottom of the second of a 0-0 ball game. George Springer's going to lead off for the Cubs in the second inning. Here is the first pitch from Abreu. And a looper into center field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Springer stops at first with a single. And now the Cubs have a runner on base. Springer not exactly a threat to run here. And Miguel Amaya is the next batter. He comes up with a runner on first, nobody out. Bottom of the second inning. Full count pitch, and that is strike 3 called. Amaya strikes out looking for the first out of the inning. Next up, Mike Tauschman with 1 out, 1 man on. Tauschman facing Abreu, waiting for the first pitch. Here it comes. And a liner over the first baseman's head into right field. Rounding second, heading for third is Springer. He is going to easily make that as Tauschman has a 1-out single. So now the Cubs have runners on the corners with 1 out, and Malik Smith is the next batter. He is 3 for 13 on the season, getting his first start of the season today. Smith will face Abreu here in the bottom of the second inning. 1 ball count, and Malik Smith drives that one into left field. That's going to be extra bases. Coming home to score is Springer. Malik Smith is cruising into second with a stand-up double, and the Cubs now have a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the second inning. So Tauschman advances from first to third, and the next batter up is going to be the pitcher McCullers with 1 out and runners on second and third. The infield is drawn in. McCullers batting, he is 2 for 10 on the season. Here comes the pitch to McCullers. He's going to drive that one through the drawn-in infield into left field. 1 run is going to score. The throw comes home. Second run scores. The Cubs now have a 3-0 lead here in the bottom of the second inning. Lance McCullers, credited with the RBI single, driving home 2 and helping his own cause. Now Isaac Paradas is the batter. With 1 out, 1 man on. Paradas facing Abreu with a full count. Abreu delivering. There's a grounder up the middle. The shortstop has it. Flips to second, relays to first, and that is a 6-4-3 double play, which will end the inning. So, the Cubs score 3 times. We go to the top of the third of a 3-0 Chicago lead. Abreu leading off against McCullers here in the top of the third inning for the Brewers. 1-2 count. And a swing and a miss for strike 3. McCullers cuts him down with the curveball. And now Lorenzo Cain is the batter. That's McCullers' 4th strikeout of the game. Cain working at the plate. Full count. Here comes the pitch. Popped up to right. Tauschman is chasing toward the corner. He looks up and makes the catch for out number 2. Urias now the batter with 2 outs and nobody on. McCullers working. First pitch. And he hits Urias. He plunks him right in the shoulder. And that is going to be a hit by pitch Urias examined by the trainer, but he's going to stay in the ballgame. So Christian Yelich now the batter with 2 outs and a runner on first. Here's a full count pitch, and Yelich draws ball 4. So suddenly, after 2 outs, McCullers hits a batter and walks a batter, and now the Brewers send the tying run up to the plate. Encarnacion facing McCullers with 2 outs in the top of the 3rd inning. Runners on first and second. Another full count pitch. Grounder up the middle. The shortstop dives and he cannot make the play. The throw goes to the cutoff man, and that is going to be an RBI single for Encarnacion. So the Brewers have now cut the Cubs' lead by a third. This is a 3-1 ball game. Navarez facing McCullers. Runners still in the corners with 2 outs. Here is a 1-ball count and the pitch and a grounder over to first. Rizzo has it. He steps on the base, which ends the inning. So 1 run scores, 2 runners are stranded. We go to the bottom of the 3rd of a 3-1 ball game. Nico Horner is going to lead off for the Cubs here in the 3rd inning. Second at bat of the day, he is 0 for 1. 1-1 is the count. And a liner into center field. Coming in fast is Lorenzo Cain. He dives and makes the catch for out number 1. Lorenzo Cain just robbed Horner of a base hit, and it brings up Carlos Correa with 1 out and nobody on. Correa waiting for the pitch. There's a pop-up behind first base. Rizzo going over. He calls off Horner and makes the catch. Encarnacion making the catch, calling off Urias for out number 2. Rizzo now is the next batter with 2 outs and nobody on. Here's a 1-strike count and the pitch to Rizzo, and he's going to line that one over toward first. First baseman has it. He flips to the pitcher covering, but the pitcher is late. Abreu falling asleep on the job there, and Rizzo legs it out for an infield single. So George Springer is now the next batter with 2 outs and a runner on first. Abreu facing Springer with a full count. Here's the pitch, and Springer grounds it to short. The throw goes over to first, which will end the inning. So the Cubs do not score. We go to the top of the 4th of a 3-1 ball game. McCullers coming out to work the 4th inning against the 6, 7, and 8 batters in the Brewers lineup. Here's a 2-2 count. McCullers looking to deliver the pitch. Here it comes. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Got him with the cutter right there. And that's strikeout number 5 on the day for McCullers. It brings up Ben Gamel. 1 out, nobody on. 1-2 is the count. McCullers delivering, and there's a swing and a miss for strike 3. So McCullers with 2 outs in the inning, 2 strikeouts recorded. And that brings up Devin Marrero. 2 outs, nobody on. McCullers working with a 1-2 count. Here comes the pitch. And a swing and a miss for strike 3. So Lance McCullers strikes out the side. We go to the bottom of the 4th of a 3-1 ball game. Abreu is going to face Amaya here in the bottom of the 4th with a full count. Abreu looking to deliver the pitch. And that's a liner up the middle. That's a single into center field. So a leadoff base hit for the Cubs here in the 4th puts a runner on first. Next up is Tauschman. He is 1 for 1 today. Facing Abreu with nobody out, the runner on first. Tauschman batting with a full count. Here comes the pitch. And a liner into center field for another base hit. Amaya rounding second. He thought he was going to third, but he stopped. Cain's throw goes directly to third. He would have been out by a mile. So good decision there by Amaya to stop. And now Malik Smith is the batter. He is 1 for 1 with an RBI. He comes up with runners on first and second and nobody out in the 4th inning. So Malik Smith waiting for the 3-0 pitch, and he takes ball 4, drawing the walk, which brings up Lance McCullers. McCullers hit an RBI single his last time up, driving in 2. He comes up now with the bases loaded, nobody out in the bottom of the 4th inning. Here's a 1-2 count, the infield drawn in, and a swing and a miss for strike 3. So McCullers strikes out swinging for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up Paradas. With 1 out, the base is still loaded. Abreu working with a 3-1 count, and Paradas draws the walk. That will force in the run. The runner from third Amaya is going to score, and the Cubs now have a 4-1 lead. Nico Horner is the next batter. Bases still loaded, 1 out. Abreu working with a 2-0 count. Here comes the pitch. And a pop-up to deep center field. Going back is Kane toward the warning track. This is going to be plenty deep. The catch is made. The throw goes to the cutoff man, and another run will score. So Horner is going to get the RBI sacrifice fly, and that'll bring up Carlos Correa now with 2 outs and runners on the corners. Bottom of the 4th inning, Cubs up 5-1. The Brewers are going to bring in a relief pitcher. Sergio Romo comes out of the Brewers bullpen. He has thrown 8 1/3 innings, walked 5, struck out 7, and has an ERA of 1.08. Correa facing Romo in the bottom of the 4th inning. 1-1 count. Sergio Romo looking for the sign. And here's the pitch. And a liner in right field. That's another base hit. Runner from third's coming home to score. The runner on second is advancing to third. The slide, and he is safe. And so Paradas goes to third. Correa gets an RBI single, and the Cubs now have a 6-1 lead. Anthony Rizzo is the next batter. He faces Romo with 2 outs and 2 runners in scoring position. Here's the 1-1 count and the pitch to Rizzo. And he lines that one up the middle for another base hit. 1 run is in. Rounding third and heading home is the next runner. The throw comes home, and the throw is errant. The next run is going to score. Rizzo with an RBI double drives in 2 more runs, and now the Brewers are down 8-1. The Cubs establishing a 7-run lead. The throwing error by Kane allowed the second run to score, and now George Springer is the batter. 2 outs, Rizzo on second. Here comes the 1-ball count and the pitch, and there's a pop-up to right center field. I think this is going to do it. Kane coming over. He makes the catch to end the inning. So the Cubs score 5 times and take an 8-1 lead into the top of the 5th inning. McCullers now facing the pitcher Romo to lead off the top of the 5th. Here's a full count and the pitch, and a swing and a miss for strike 3. So McCullers getting the strikeout. That is his 8th of the game, and Lorenzo Cain is the next batter. So pretty soon McCullers is going to have to petition to have that C changed to a K in the middle of his last name. He's now going to face Lorenzo Cain with 1 out and nobody on in the top of the 5th inning. McCullers working with a 1-2 count. Here is the pitch to Lorenzo Cain. And a swing and a miss for strike 3. McCullers strikes out Cain. That is his 9th of the game, and it brings up Urias with 2 outs and nobody on. McCullers facing Urias with an 0-2 count. Swing and a miss for strike 3. That's 10 in the game for McCullers. So the Brewers go down in order. McCullers strikes out the side for the 2nd time in this ball game. We're going to the bottom of the 5th of an 8-1 contest. Miguel Amaya is going to lead off for the Cubs in the bottom of the 5th inning. With a 3-0 count, Sergio Romo looking to deliver the pitch. That is way outside. It is ball 4. So Amaya draws the walk. He heads down to first, and it brings up Mike Tauschman. Nobody out, runner on first. Tauschman waiting for the 2-2 pitch. And here it comes. There's a swing and a miss for strike 3. Tauschman strikes out swinging for the first out of the inning. Malik Smith now the batter. He is 1 for 1 today. Facing Romo with 1 out, 1 man on. Here's a 2-2 count. And there's a grounder over to third. The throw goes to second, but there's no relay to first. Amaya breaking up the double play. And that will leave the Cubs with 2 outs and a runner on first. McCullers is the next batter. He is 1 for 2 on the day. With 2 outs and 1 man on. Here's the 1-strike pitch to McCullers. He's going to ground that one over to first. Picked up and stepping on the base. That is going to end the inning. 3 unassisted. So the Cubs strand a runner. They do not score. We go to the top of the 6th of an 8-1 ball game. McCullers is going to face Yelich to lead off for the Brewers in the top of the 6th inning. Here comes a 1-ball count and the pitch, and a liner past third base into left field. That is going to be a leadoff single for Christian Yelich. And that is going to prompt activity in the Cub bullpen. We're going to see in this case, who's coming up? We got some righties coming up in a couple of batters. We're going to see Junior Fernandez warmed up in this situation. So, McCullers facing Encarnacion with Yelich on first and nobody out in the top of the 6th inning. Here's a 3-1 count. McCullers delivering the pitch. That is inside for ball 4. So McCullers has allowed the first 2 runners to reach base and issued his 4th walk of the ball game. And now we're going to visit the mound. And McCullers says, I'm starting to feel it, but I can pitch a little more if you need me to. Fernandez is ready. So we're going to bring him in. McCullers is right at 100 pitches, and apparently he has just hit the wall here in the 6th inning. So Fernandez coming in. You know, I guess McCullers probably deserves a little bit of latitude to try to get out of this inning. It is a 7-run lead, and he has 10 strikeouts. Let's see if he can. We'll run this out here for another batter or so. McCullers working. There's a pop-up behind shortstop. Going back is Correa. He makes the catch for the first out of the inning. So now McCullers is facing Garcia with 1 out, runners on first and second. A double play could get him out of this inning. Let's see if McCullers can close this out. Here comes the 1-2 pitch, and there's a liner right at the shortstop. That was almost a double play. Correa making the catch. Yelich has to dive back to second to avoid being doubled off. And now Gamble is the batter. With 2 outs and 2 men on, McCullers facing Gamble here in the top of the 6th inning. 1-1 count, and that gets away. That's a wild pitch, so the runners are going to advance to second and third. So a 2-1 count. This is definitely going to be McCullers' last batter that he's going to face. 2 outs in the top of the 6th inning, 2 men on. Here comes the 2-2 pitch, and there's a check swing, strike 3. McCullers gets strikeout number 11 to end the inning. So we're going down to the bottom of the 6th inning of an 8-1 ball game. Now, Paredes is leading off for the Cubs. Here in the bottom of the 6th inning, he is 0 for 1 with an RBI today. He's facing Romo, waiting for the first pitch. Here it comes. A pop-up, very high, right center field. Coming over is Lorenzo Cain. He gets under it and puts it away for out number 1. Next up, Nico Horner with 1 out, nobody on. 1 strike count to Horner. Here's the pitch. And a pop-up behind third base. Short left field. The catch is made by the third baseman, Marrero, for out number 2. Correa now batting. We got to make sure that Mr. Fernandez is ready to pitch. Yeah, he is. Okay, Carlos Correa comes up. He is 2 for 3 with an RBI, with 2 outs and nobody on. Romo working with a 1-2 count. Here's the pitch to Correa and a grounder up the middle. The second baseman has it, throws over to first, and the inning is over, 4-3. So the Cubs go down in order. We go to the top of the 7th of an 8-1 ball game. And now McCullers will in fact be relieved here in the 7th inning, and we're going to get some new players out here into this ball game. Junior Fernandez will be brought in to pitch. He will bat 8th. And he is going to face Marrero here in the top of the 7th inning to lead off for the Brewers. We're going to see 8, 9, and 1 in the Brewers lineup this inning. Junior Fernandez has thrown 7 2/3 innings, walked 4, struck out 12, and has a 5.87 ERA. Fernandez working with a 1-2 count. He is looking for the sign and delivering the pitch. And a grounder over to second. Horner has it. He throws to first. That's going to be out number 1. Next up is Garcia. Abbasano Garcia will pinch hit for the pitcher spot. He is 9 for 43 on the season with 2 home runs. He's facing Fernandez with 1 out, nobody on. Here's a 1-2 count. Junior Fernandez delivering the pitch. And strike 3 is called. The changeup dropped in there for strike 3. So 2 outs now in the inning, and Lorenzo Cain is the batter. Top of the 7th inning. Cain facing the 1-2 count. Here comes the pitch. And a swing and a miss for strike 3. So that is a strikeout for Fernandez to end the inning. We are going to the bottom of the 7th of a 8-1 ball game. For today's 7th-inning stretch, we have Dave Kingman coming out to lead the festivities. Anthony Rizzo is going to be the next batter. He is going to face Tatsushi Masuda out of the Brewers bullpen. Masuda has thrown 6 2/3 innings, walked 3, struck out 5, and has a 1.35 ERA. So Rizzo batting here in the bottom of the 7th inning of an 8-1 ball game. Masuda working with a 1-2 count. He is looking for the sign, and here comes the pitch. And a pop-up to right field. Coming in is the right fielder. He gets under it and makes the catch for out number 1. Next up, George Springer. So now we are going to see a pinch hitter for George Springer. It's going to be Danny Santana. Santana will come up, pinch hit. So what we're going to do here, Tauschman is going to shift over, I believe, to, well, who plays better center field between these two? Yeah, it's Tauschman. Yep. So Tauschman's going to shift over to center. Santana will come in and play right field. And Santana is pinch hitting for Springer here in the bottom of the 7th with 1 out. The switch hitting Santana will bat from the left side. Here comes the first pitch from Masuda. Santana lining that one right up the middle into center field. That's going to be a base hit. So Santana stops at first with a single. And now Miguel Amaya is the next batter. And we are going to see another pinch hitter. This time it will be Erie Adrianza. He is going to pinch hit in the bottom of the 7th inning with 1 out and a runner on first. Adrianza facing Masuda, waiting for the first pitch. And there's a grounder over to first. The throw goes to second. The relay back to first, and that is a 3-6-1 double play to end the inning. So the Cubs do not score. We go to the top of the 8th of an 8-1 ball game. And now what we're going to see is Adrianza is actually going to stay in the game, and he will play second base. The catcher Fegley will come into the game and bat first. And Junior Fernandez is coming out for inning of work number 2 to protect the 7-run lead here in the top of the 8th inning. He's going to face Urias Yelich and Encarnacion in the Brewers lineup. Fernandez working with a 1-strike count. Here comes the pitch, and he hits him with the pitch. So the first batter is plunked. He heads down to first. And I guess that's a sign that we need to warm somebody up. So the reliever who will be warmed up in this case is going to be we are going to warm up Liam Hendricks in this case. So Fernandez now facing Yelich with nobody out and a runner on first. Here's a 2-2 count, and the pitch. Strike 3 is called. Junior Fernandez records his 3rd strikeout of this outing. And now Encarnacion is the batter. 1 out, 1 man on. Here's a 1-2 count. And Fernandez strikes him out swinging for the 2nd out of the inning. Fernandez now has 4 strikeouts. And Navarez is the next batter with 2 outs and a runner on first. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Fernandez delivering. And a grounder back toward the mound. The pitcher has it. He throws over to first, and that will end the inning. So the Brewers stranding a runner. They do not score. We go to the bottom of the 8th of an 8-1 ball game. And now Mike Tauschman, let's see here. So Hendricks will throw in the 9th. Tauschman is going to lead off against Masuda here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Cubs sending the 6, 7, and 8 batters up to bat here in the 8th. Masuda facing Tauschman with a 2-2 count. And here comes the pitch. And a grounder to first. Picked up and stepping on the base is the first baseman Encarnacion for the 1st out of the inning. Next up, Malik Smith. He is 1 for 2 today with an RBI. Facing Masuda with 1 out and nobody on. Full count pitch. Here it comes. That is strike 3 called, and Malik Smith strikes out looking. So that brings up the pitcher Fernandez, which means that it is time for a pinch hitter. Hendricks needs to be ready to come in. Trent Jambrioni is going to be allowed to pinch hit for the pitcher's spot. Jambrioni coming up with 2 outs and nobody on, facing Masuda here in the 8th inning. 0-2 count, Masuda delivering the pitch. And a swing and a miss for strike 3, so that will end the inning. We're going to the top of the 9th. The Cubs are up by 7. Now, Jambrioni is going to stay in. So, Adrianza will shift over to short. Jambrioni will come into play second. And Hendricks will come in to the number 2 spot and pitch. So now, Hendricks, coming in out of the bullpen, has a 2-0 record with a 6.2 innings pitched, no walks, 8 strikeouts, and a 1.35 ERA. He will be facing a Brewers pinch hitter, Pedro Florimon, here in the top of the 9th inning, with the Cubs up by 7. Hendricks working with a 1-1 count. Here's the sign and the pitch. And a grounder over to third. Picked up by Paradas. He throws over to first, and that'll be the first out of the inning. Ben Gamble is the next batter with 1 out and nobody on. Full count pitch to Gamble. Here it comes. And a grounder up the middle. This time the shortstop has it. He throws over to first. That's going to be out number 2. So the Brewers down to their final out, sending up Devin Marrero. 2 outs, nobody on. Hendricks working with a 1-1 count. Here comes the pitch. And a drive into left field, going back. That's going to be in the bleachers. So a solo home run by Devin Marrero in the 9th inning. That makes this an 8-2 ball game. And now, Keston Hiura is the next batter. He will pinch hit for the pitcher's spot against Liam Hendricks. With 2 outs and nobody on. Hendricks working with a 2-2 count. Looking to close out this game. Here comes the pitch, and there's a liner into center field. Long run, a diving play by Tauschman, and he makes the catch to end the game. So the Cubs are victorious, 8-2 over the Brewers. Cubs getting 8 runs on 11 hits with no errors. The Brewers, 2 runs on 4 hits with 1 error. We see that the player of today's game is the Cubs' Lance McCullers. He threw 6 innings of 3-hit, 1-run baseball with 4 walks and 11 strikeouts. He improves to 4-0 on the season. The Brewers' Brian Abreu drops to 0-2. He threw 3 2/3 innings of 8-hit, 7-run baseball with 2 walks and 2 strikeouts. So the Cubs improved to 13-6, while the Brewers dropped to 8-11. Thank you for watching Replacement Player Baseball.